Nick, you know what you always ask me every time we do this podcast?
What could I possibly ask you every time we do this podcast?
So, Brett, what did you do this week? And you know what I did this past week?
Yeah.
I finally finished all the Marvel movies. My obsession is complete. All 20. All 20.
Big accomplishment right there.
Yeah, but, come on. How many people can say they watched from, Iron Man all the way to Infinity War?
Probably a lot of people.
Nope. For the sake of me feeling better about myself, we're going to say very few.
Is that what you did today? You finished the Marvel movies?
Not today. Just this past week.
Throughout the course of the week, it wasn't just one particular night?
That'd be impossible.
I'm just saying, like, it wasn't one particular day you decided to shove all the movies in.
I mean, it had to be, every day you have to watch at least 3 to do it all in a week.
Whatever. Congratulations. Such an accomplished feat.
Well, thank you, Nick. I appreciate it.
Me, on the other hand...
You haven't seen Captain America.
No. In the life of Nick, I had another very busy week. I did a corporate presentation for Land's End Corporate.
Everybody can say they've done that.
Sure. And I went to a LinkedIn local meetup where I got to connect with some really cool people here in Madison. And I may have some new business coming my way.
Cool. I think even the audience is getting sick of you saying that crap.
You're mean to me. I just want you all to know now. He's mean to me.
I think they know.
Oh, that you're mean to me?
Yeah. They listen to the podcast.
Tell everybody why you're mean to me then, Brett.
Actually, when I go back and edit these podcasts, I'm like, wow, I'm kind of an asshole to Nick when I'm drunk.
Try all the time.
Yes, but what you guys don't see is that Nick, we're jokingly assholes to each other, but Nick is more of a jokingly asshole to me off of the mic.
I am.
Not
am I?
on the mic. You're on the mic. You just seem to be like, I'm all perfect, Nick, and I'm not mean to anybody. But off,
I'm not.
Like I'm
He's
a
trying
piece of crap all of a sudden.
He's trying to fill your head with lies.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyhow.
Whatever. I'm just mean to you no matter where we're at, what platform we're on. You hide it. So now I look like a dick.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Shotcast. I'm Nick, and I'm here with Mean Face Brett, Esquire, Junior, Sassafras, Manhole.
Sure.
I like that name.
Manhole?
No, the whole name.
What?
That I just rattled off there.
Say the whole thing again?
I don't remember. I made that up on the spot.
Thank God you don't remember because I was stupid. I don't like that name.
So we're back for yet another week of fun news story. Well, actually, not really fun news stories this week. Actually, some pretty sad news stories, if you ask me. And our topic of the week, which is on social media this week.
Yay!
Go figure that we're talking about social media because we just are starting to get our social media for the Shotcast up and running. Even though we may not have any Instagram photos this week because, well, I blame Brett. He can explain.
No. Continue.
All right, well... But yes, we officially have a Shotcast Instagram, aptly named @TheShotcast.
The picture doesn't have to be of us.
No.
Or it can be of us.
It always has to be of us.
It can be like...
Because that's what works on Instagram, Brett.
Okay, I'm just saying, we don't have to be wearing our shirts every time.
Yes, we do, Brett.
Why?
Because it's branding.
That doesn't give variety.
What do you mean? We do different photos wearing the same stuff every time to build a brand.
I know, but I'm just saying, if you see the same shirt, same outfit every damn time.
But we're doing different things every time.
Yes, but I'm just saying 80% can be of our brand. Maybe 20% can be of different clothing every so often.
Okay, let's do a photo right now of you in your basketball shorts and Packers jersey then as some different clothing.
This is casual Brett.
No. That's not happening.
I think it's a great idea.
I
actually love that you suggested
that. Completely goes against the brand that we're trying to build.
Get the camera.
This is your one pass.
Get the camera.
I ain't getting the damn camera.
Okay, all right. Fair enough.
Well, we just had a bit of an argument right there.
I didn't feel like that was an argument at all.
Anyhow, no.
That was a talk.
Brett's feeling like crap, so I gave him one free pass to wear his poor person clothes.
I'll be honest, I feel like crap coming over here. And then I ate those Oreo cookies, and it made me feel even worse.
Well, there you go. Brett got his one free pass. So we may not have an Instagram photo with a link to this week's podcast. But we do have an Instagram account now that we will be posting to more often. And if you all can believe it, we are still working on that website.
We're gonna have to do it during the week. We get too lazy in the weekends.
You are blaming me. No, we don't.
I am blaming you.
What? No. I am perfectly fine with doing it on the weekend.
I even said when you started cooking those brats and stuff, Nick, is there something I could be doing for the website while you're doing that? And you go, you do nothing. You just stay right where you are.
Lies.
No, it's not.
Absolute lies. Absolute utter lies. But no, we are really trying to get this website done. It's just the weekend rolls around and then I
don't want to do anything.
Brett comes over and he lays on my floor and he's like, go night-night now. Bye. And then it's just done. It's over.
No, I think you don't want to do anything.
You're right, because I literally work from 5:30 to freaking 11 o'clock Monday through Thursday for the most. Actually, no, Sunday.
That's why I'm saying I'll just make it. You critique it. You tweak it. I'll just make it during the week. I have way more time than you do. And then I'll send you the website. You tweak it. But the guts and the stuff will be there.
We'll talk.
Okay.
I'm not opposed.
That means no.
I'm not opposed to that plan. But we will have a website up sooner or later. We promise. So, because this is not a Drunkcast weekend, which we hope you all enjoyed last weekend's Drunkcast, because boy, oh boy, Brett and I sure did the following morning.
I don't remember.
Following morning was a bit rough. Even the
I threw your pen.
You did.
I'm sorry.
The Pedialyte didn't even help the next morning.
Oh, I felt completely fine after the Pedialyte.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, I felt fine.
I was out all day. But we hope you enjoyed that. Next Drunkcast will be the first weekend in September, which just coincidentally happens to be Labor Day weekend.
Yep.
So you can expect that.
Expect it.
No wheel, probably. We're not doing a wheel today, are we? There's no need. We're just drinking beer and talking about stuff.
We could do like a funny wheel.
For what?
We could do like bets.
Bets? Bets on what?
I bet you $1 it's gonna land on blue.
That is so stupid. We're not doing a wheel. We're just going to do cheers to beer every so often and drink. How about that?
Oh, yeah. By the way, how would you spend my $100? Did you spend it wisely?
Uh-huh. Yeah, that $100. All right. In fact, I think the agreement was you were supposed to take a picture of you handing me the $100 saying Nick is the smartest best buddy ever. And that did not happen now, did it?
No, we were too drunk.
Oh, no, we agreed to do it afterwards.
Yeah, after the podcast, we were too drunk.
No, we agreed to do it.
Next.
We agreed to do it.
What's our first news story?
We agreed to do it sober after the podcast, Brett.
No, I don't remember that.
Well, you're just like our president. Lies, 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 lies.
Yeah, it works out for me. Okay, what's our first
You piss me off.
Lies, lies, lies.
Cheers to the Shotcast.
I love you too, big buddy or little.
You just are batting a million tonight, aren't you? Yeah. Brett can't get his SHIT together.
No, not tonight for some reason.
Well,
and I really hope I feel better for tomorrow because I have a big day tomorrow.
No, I'm sure you will. You just choose to feel like crap around Nick.
Well,
right? Yep. All right, let's move into the news stories. Unappreciative bastard. All right. First news story.
Amorosa.
First news story is Omarosa. For those of you who are unfamiliar with her, used to be President Trump's communications something or other in the White House. She also was on The Apprentice, I think the first season. She did not win, but she came very close to winning. Apparently, it was revealed this week that she had taped a couple of private phone calls in the White House, both in the Oval Office and the Situation Room.
Why would she do that?
Well, good question.
She gonna sell it?
I think she just wanted to reveal like why she got fired, and
doesn't she know it's illegal?
Hell hath no fury. I don't necessarily know if that's illegal though. In the Situation Room, it may be illegal, but
with no consent.
But in the Oval Office, I'm not so sure. But anyhow, Into the story, former Trump aide Omarosa Manigault Newman has released what she says is a tape of a phone call from President Trump after her dismissal last year. Apparently, in the phone call recording, President Trump expressed surprise over Omarosa's firing the previous day, quote unquote, saying, "Nobody even told me about it." I'm not shocked nobody did.
Yeah.
Or they did and he just forgot. President Trump's lawyer, bat-faced Rudy Giuliani, says that she may have broken the law by recording private conversations in the White House. Which, again, it's kind of a gray area, I guess.
Yeah.
Because technically you're not allowed to record someone without their consent, but people do it all the time.
So they're doing illegal things?
Sure, I guess. Well, yeah, I don't know how that really works in the scope of the White House and the government, though. She may get in trouble. I'm not entirely sure. Omarosa knew President Trump from her days on The Apprentice, which I mentioned, and advised him on African-American issues during the 2016 election, and after that took a communications role in the White House. Apparently pissed people off because she was fired. And her dismissal was announced on the 13th of December of 2017 amid U.S. media reports that she had annoyed colleagues.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
She seemed pretty annoying, though. Like, she doesn't seem like someone I would personally get along with in a
Didn't
business
they say that about
sense.
Michael Wolff, too?
The guy who wrote the book?
Yeah,
He was just a fly on the wall.
I know. But it
He
seems
probably
like-
did annoy people. All these people seem annoying, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I couldn't work with Omarosa. I know that.
But why did they say that she was annoying? Just because
She's just an
her
annoying person.
personality
Did
is
you
just-
not watch her on The Apprentice?
No,
She was terrible.
I never watched it.
Her personality was terrible. She was mean.
Okay,
She was mean, pushy, and rude.
didn't know that.
Oh, well, apparently you need to catch up on your Apprentice knowledge.
I never watched it.
I love that show.
Really?
I know. It's funny.
Now you
I don't
probably
like
hate
him
it.
as president, but I loved his frickin' show.
Yeah.
I love the celebrity version.
Even though he doesn't really fire people.
Well, no, all TV's fake. I love the show regardless. I loved Celebrity Apprentice. The season with Dee Schneider was great. Besides the point, in a recording she released of her dismissal, the man in the phone conversation, assumed to be current Chief of Staff John Kelly, what did I say here? Speaks significant integrity issues as the reason for her firing, mentioning her use of government vehicles. So I'm guessing she was probably taking joyrides and SUVs and limos and God knows what.
Yeah.
Or this was just their excuse to get rid of her. Apparently, he said, quote unquote, "There are some serious legal issues that have been violated, and you're open to some legal action that we think we can control," he says at one point. He also said, quote unquote, "If we make this a friendly departure, you can look at your time here in the White House as a year of service to the nation, and then you can go on without any type of difficulty in the future." Well, clearly that didn't happen because she was scorned and they had to carry her out of the White House. Remember they made a joke about that in SNL? They literally
No.
had to like escort her and carry her out of the White House.
So when did this actually happen? When was she actually-
December of last year.
It was December of last year. Okay.
Yes. So, when Miss Manigault Newman asks if President Trump is aware of what is happening in the recording, he brushes the question aside, saying, "Let's not go down that road. This is a non-negotiable discussion." Yeah. So just another piece of insight into how well our current executive branch is functioning.
Sounds like everything else I've heard.
Exactly. This is nothing new, but it was a large piece of news this week because it was all over U.S. media, which...
So do we get to hear this footage or what? Or did we actually hear the footage?
Oh, we actually want to hear it?
Sure.
Oh, this is new, apparently, now. She was being offered hush money.
Oh. Okay.
Anyhow, you can go find the tape online. I'm not going to waste time here trying to pull it up. But all this stuff was said in the recording, and apparently she caught some communications from inside the Situation Room as well, and that's where the legality of all this comes in. But, yeah, not surprised at all by any of this, because this is just another piece of the clown show that we get to experience on a weekly basis.
Yep. This is our life now as Americans.
Well, cheers, Brett!
Cheers, Nick, to the fall of humanity.
You sadistic man. What?
A toast.
We just did it.
A toast. Ready? I'm going to say something. It's going to be nice.
Okay.
There are big ships and there are small ships. But the best ships our friendships, and may they forever sail the seas.
Did you get that off the back of a fortune cookie?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. I don't know what that was.
I just want to say that. I think it's cool.
Well, big buddy, I appreciate
That didn't mean you could hug me.
Oh, I will.
The nice run's very short.
Yes, only when Brett's drunk does the walls actually come down and niceness actually flows from him like a bellflower. Anyhow.
Sure, yeah. A bellflower. Bellsprout.
Next story here. We had the passing of a very well-known musician. Actually, a musician who changed music, if you ask me, this week. Aretha Franklin passed away at the age of 76 this week.
Good long life.
Yeah, I mean, but the reason, I feel like we have, celebrities and musical artists pass away, but there's like certain people where it kind of hits a bit harder because of the impact they had on an industry.
Yeah.
Like, for example, when Michael Jackson died, that was a ripple effect.
Yeah, well, that was also
everybody.
unexpected.
Well, yeah, I mean, this was kind of unexpected, too. I mean, it happened so quick, but
I mean, you can understand, she's 76, that's fine.
right,
long
but if you
life.
think back, like when John Lennon was killed, and it's just like when certain people who have had such an impact die, it kind of it hits a bit harder, I think, in the scope of humanity, and I think Aretha Franklin was one of them. So anyhow, on to the info here. So on a Thursday this week, legendary music artist Aretha Franklin passed away at the age of 76. She was known as the Queen of Soul for hits like Respect and Think, which were two very popular songs, which have, in the wake of her death now are like number one on iTunes.
Are they?
Yeah.
That always happens.
It always happens. She passed away surrounded by family and friends at her home in Detroit, which I did not know, actually, until all this news that she was from Detroit, which shows, I guess, how much I actually knew about her as a person.
Yeah.
Franklin was diagnosed with cancer in 2010 and announced last year that she would be retiring from music. And during her musical career, she won a massive 18 Grammy Awards, which is a lot for a single person.
That is a lot.
And had 17 top 10 U.S. charts spanning several decades.
That's impressive.
So it's kind of like, again, it's those people that are kind of like always there through the decades that when they pass away, it hurts a lot more. Like, again, imagine when Elton John dies. Like, Elton John's been there since, like, 70s, early 70s, late 60s. So, like, there's certain people.
How old is he?
Elton John? He's in his
John. He's
70s.
in his 70s, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Elton John.
Right. He actually worked with Aretha Franklin a lot. Aretha Franklin actually gave her final performance last November at a gala in New York City held in aid of the Elton John AIDS Foundation. And I was on Instagram after she died, and he posted a very well thought out, very nice tribute to her on his Instagram page.
Good.
So they definitely worked a lot together. Her family confirmed that her death was due to an advanced pancreatic cancer of the neuroendocrine type. Pretty sure that's what Patrick Swayze died of too. Pancreatic cancer, that's the worst kind you can get.
Yeah.
That takes you very quick. Because they can't
I've heard about that.
Because they can't detect it until it's like already in stage 4.
Yeah.
So by the time you find out you have it, you're pretty much dead. Which is really a shame.
I wonder, what are the symptoms of pancreatic cancer?
That I don't know.
Because I wonder how you find out about it.
Clearly not, right in your face type of symptoms. If more than half the time when you find out you have it, you get like 3 months to live.
It's probably not right in your face until you hear, get symptoms.
Yeah, Steve Jobs actually died of pancreatic cancer too.
Oh, really?
Yep. Patrick Swayze and a lot of famous people actually have died of pancreatic cancer, oddly enough.
What the hell?
Don't stop. Not a conspiracy theory. How life works. Anyhow, a bit about a history about Aretha Franklin. She was born in Memphis, Tennessee, to a gospel singer and pianist and a celebrated Baptist preacher. And she actually grew up very much in the gospel community, and that was kind of where she got her start, more or less. But she really hit big in 1966 when she joined Atlantic Records, where she released some of her most iconic songs, like the song Respect, R-E-S-P-E-C-T, Find Out What You Mean to Me, Take Down the TCP. 1968, she was known as Lady Soul throughout America and Europe, and was a symbol of black pride who appeared on the cover of Time and was given an award by Martin Luther King because she was actually heavily involved in the civil rights movement. And
Yeah.
a lot of the music that she sang throughout the 60s was, geared more towards the issues facing the country at the time and civil rights and stuff like that. Following her death, many other artists and celebrities like Elton John, Sir Paul McCartney, John Legend, Britney Spears, and Tony Bennett shared their condolences. So like I said, it's one of those passings that really does affect a lot of people, especially the people in the music industry, because there's just certain people you can kind of always tie back, a shared experience to, and she was definitely one of those. And former President Barack Obama, who she sang at his inauguration, actually, I do remember that when he was inaugurated back in high school, released an emotive statement with his wife Michelle stating that Franklin's music helped define the American experience, and I would completely agree with that.
Yep.
So, very sad. It's, getting to that point where a lot of very famous musical artists and movie stars and celebrities who have kind of traveled through the decades are getting to that point of passing away. And
yeah,
we lost another one this week, unfortunately, but hopefully she is in a better place and her music will live on, because definitely when you pull up Apple and Apple Music right now, it's all she's getting a lot of sales right now.
Yeah,
even,
I'm sure.
Even dead. So that's that. Before we get into this next one, let's do a...
What she say after R-E-S-P-E-C-T?
What?
What she say after that line? R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Take out the TCP!
Take out the TCP. So what does that mean? What does it say? Take out the TCP? Take out the TCP.
Take out the TCP.
Take out the TCP.
Reese? Resi?
Resi.
I don't understand that.
I don't. Is it actually TCP?
That's, I believe,
or is it
that's
take
what
out the ECP? Look up the lyrics. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Take back the ECP.
Brett, stop trying to figure it out.
What does it mean? Where's it? Does it say anywhere?
Maybe that's just something she threw in there.
Maybe.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, here it is.
Take care, TCB. Oh.
Oh, take care, TCB.
I don't get it.
What does TCB mean?
I don't know.
Okay, find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Take care, TCB. What is TCB? Is that the initials of somebody that she doesn't like?
I don't know, Brett. I've actually,
Please Google that now.
For so many years, I thought it was take out the TCP. Or when Ellen did a stand-up show, she's like, you know how there's some songs, like, no matter how many times you hear them, you can't understand what the person says in certain parts. She's like, one of those songs for me is Respect by Aretha Franklin. That part where she gets to R-E-S-P-E-C-T, find out what you mean to me, and then duck out the TCP.
What does TCP and R-E-S-P-E-C-T mean? Respect in the OED. What is TCP in the song Respect? Right there. It's.
Is this it?
No, go back. You just go right down right there. The first one.
Is an abbreviation commonly used in the 60s and 70s, taking care of business.
Oh. It was partly widely used in African American culture. R-E-S-P-C-T and TCB are not present in Redding's
interesting.
Okay.
So take care, TCB, take care of business.
Take care of TCB. Okay. Take care of business. Suck it to me.
Thank you, Brett, for that lovely analysis of...
Take care, business.
Okay.
Take care, TCB.
Oh, we're done.
Okay. Sorry.
Before we move on to this next one,
I had a little bit of an episode.
This next one's actually going to kind of be hard to talk about, and I hope you would have heard of this over the past couple days, so let's do here. Shotcast.
They're big shit. I'm just kidding.
No more of your stupid fortune cookie quotes.
Cheers to our wives and our girlfriends, and may they never meet.
I'm gay.
It's a joke.
Oh.
No, it's you say it to like a group of your buds, like, cheers to our wives and our girlfriends, and may they never meet.
I don't get it.
Like, They all have wives and girlfriends, and may they never meet.
Oh, okay, that's stupid.
Take candy.
Oh, stop it.
Please. Can you please, like, stay being my friend?
No.
Okay.
No, absolutely not. Anyhow, the last story here, I will give a disclaimer, is a bit hard to, well, one, learn about and honestly talk about.
If you don't like stories about murder, please leave now.
So I will say viewer discretion advised, but I guess really not. Viewer listening discretion advised.
Yeah.
So Colorado father arrested after admitting to killing wife and 2 daughters. So this is, you heard anything about this?
No. Well, I read it.
Okay. Well, I will pull up the video here. Once I explain this, I will pull up the very creepy video now.
Oh God.
Of something. Anyhow, okay. I'll just start talking about it. So on Wednesday this week, Chris Watts was arrested in Frederick, Colorado, for allegedly killing his wife and 2 daughters and hiding their bodies. And on Thursday, he appeared in court following his arrest. Now, what's weird and just really crazy about this whole thing is if you look them up on social media, him and his wife, they look like normal
That's
people.
what everybody always says, Nick.
No, they look like they're happy.
no.
They just got pregnant. Like they look like normal people.
I'm saying, whenever you hear a story about a serial killer or like some...
He's not a serial killer, though.
No. I'm just saying, like a murder story, you always hear people saying, he doesn't look like anything like that. Like in
But the
person,
dude
do
doesn't.
that.
Have you seen him?
No, I haven't. Aw, they're a young couple.
No, that's
Is that not him?
yeah.
Oh, okay. You just go to images? That's them?
Yes, they look completely normal.
Yeah.
And if you pull up her Facebook, which she has completely public, by the way, it's pictures of just them and like, it looks so normal. They have kids, they have a house. I guess it was revealed that
he killed all 3 of them?
yeah, and she was pregnant, so technically killed 4 people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like, it's just weird. It was revealed that they did file bankruptcy in 2015 because they were in a massive amount of debt, but also new report is coming out that there may have been cheating, like he may have been cheating and she found out, which could have caused the altercation, which led to him killing her. But like, they look completely normal.
There's always a backstory to a killing.
There is.
You never have somebody that's just like, I'm just gonna kill you.
But like, here's a recent photo.
Except for serial killers.
Like, they look completely normal. So I'll show you this video after we get into this here. But
All right.
so basically, just the backstory is, so she disappeared on Monday. Her and the kids disappeared on Monday. And a friend, well, I think I have it in the write-up here. So yes, she was 15 weeks pregnant, and she was reported missing on Monday along with the daughters. And police launched an investigation after a close friend of Shanann was her name, said that she was not answering her phone.
Yeah.
So the police started an investigation. They went to the house, and he's just like there.
Yeah.
Like he didn't seem like worried or scared at all. And then, so keep in mind at this point, he knows he killed them.
Yeah.
And then he does this interview.
Where's the sound?
Hang on.
What's going on right now around your house?
Right now, it's got K9 units, the sheriff's department. Everybody's like they're doing their best right now to figure out like if they can get a scent, see where they went. If they went on foot, they went in a car, they went somewhere.
He knows like
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah.
And he's
Sociopath.
going through the house trying to get a scent.
Psychopath.
Hopefully, they can pick something up to where it's going to lead to something.
What happened? Your wife came home. Tell me what's
She came home from the airport 2 a.m. and I left around 5:15. She was still here, and like about 12:10 in that afternoon, her friend Nicole showed up at the door. Like I had texted Shanann a few times that day, called her, say but she never got back to me. But she wasn't getting back to any of her people as well, and that's what really concerned a lot of people. Is like she's not getting back to her. Like if she doesn't get back to me, that's fine. Like she gets busy during the day, but she didn't get back to her people, which was very concerning. And Nicole called me when she was at the door, and that's when it was on. I was hoping that I would just get ran over by the kids running in the door and just like barrel rushing me. But
So what's really just creepy and gross about this video is these reporters are asking him questions about their disappearance, and he knows he killed them, and he's like wishing they'd come back. Like that's
Well, what do you think he's gonna say?
but-
I killed him.
right, but that's
take me to jail.
But it's just to know that though is gross and disturbing on a whole new level. That is absolutely terrible, absolutely terrible, gross, awful. There's no words to describe it. So the body of Shanann Watts was found on the premises of the Anadarko Petroleum Company, where apparently he worked, according to local media. And on Facebook, right after she disappeared, a friend posted that she had vanished without taking her phone, children's car seats, purse, or children's medicine. And before his arrest, as we saw in that, or you just heard in that video, Chris Watts spoke to reporters about the hunt, stating that he wanted everybody to come home. Yeah, okay. And according to local news, he agreed to bring officers to the locations of the bodies.
Did they say where they were found him?
Yes, they were
Where?
buried in oil tanks in the petroleum plant. He had
worked at?
Yeah. So he killed his wife, killed his 2 daughters, and put them in oil tanks.
And buried the oil tanks?
I don't think he buried them. I think he just put the bodies in the tanks. Doesn't matter. What do you mean,
That's
what?
disgusting.
Yes, it's gross. It's horrifying. What would possess a person? Okay, like I'm not saying that him killing his wife was like better by any ways or means, but like killing your kids is a whole new level
They
of
were
just.
like little twins. Were they twins?
I don't think they were twins. I think they're very close in age.
Oh, okay.
But killing your kids is just a whole new level of.
You're fucked up, man.
Yeah, and I'm allowing Brett to say the F word for this because that's just a whole new level of just
You got some issues.
screwed up,
You don't-
gross,
I'm gonna be honest.
evil.
He doesn't deserve to be alive.
Evil, just terrible. Because okay, so here's my theory on what happened, and I'm sure this will come out as the investigation unfolds. I think she was away on business, right?
Yeah.
She came back. She must have discovered that he was cheating, or probably had someone over at the house while she was gone.
Was it
on
rumored?
business?
Was it just rumored that there was cheating? Maybe he found out that she was cheating away on business.
No, from what I've been reading today, what's being said is that he was cheating.
Okay, that's
So-
even still fucked up to do that.
Well, right, that happens all the time in marriages, unfortunately. However, I'm sure she came back, found out he was cheating. They had an argument about it, and apparently he got mad enough to the point he had to kill her. And my guess is the kids either saw it, or the kids like
And they're old enough to
Right.
rat him out.
the kids found out about it somehow, and he killed the kids. Or what he did is the kids could have been asleep when he killed her, and because they couldn't just wake up and be like, "Where is mommy?" he had to kill them. Right?
It's like This is not Shawshank Redemption. Is that Shawshank? Which one is it?
Green Mile?
No. Where the dad tries to kill the family. Here's Johnny.
Oh, The Shining.
Shining. Yeah.
Well, anyhow.
That had nothing to do with anything.
no, it didn't.
It just reminded me of that.
But yeah, that's my theory on the whole thing, and I'm interested to see what comes out on the investigation for this. But like, man, I hope that I'm not one for capital punishment ever. I've always fought against the death penalty. But man, when you hear like stuff like this happen, I want someone like that to suffer, regardless of what the altercation was about. You killed your kids. You killed your wife.
Yeah.
You took 3. Well, technically, I'm considering it 4 innocent lives. For what?
I've always saw it. I've always saw it as the only reason for the death penalty is when a person takes a life that wasn't deserved to be lost.
Well, especially this.
That's when I think the death penalty is.
Okay. Like
Is when somebody takes a life.
these kids.
We're allowed to take your
These
life.
kids didn't even get to live a life because their dad decided to become a nutcase and kill them. Like. But again, that's what's so weird about it. Like I said, is if you look through like all of her social media and you look at pictures of them, they look just so normal.
Yeah.
And I hate using the word normal
They live a
because
fun little family.
I hate using the word normal because I don't believe anyone is 100% normal, but like they look like a typical American
Looks like
family.
a stereotypical
American family.
Yeah.
And you know, like when we think of serial killers, we think of like Jeffrey Dahmer, we think of Ted Bundy, we think of John Wayne Gacy, we think of the BTK guy, and they all kind of have that creepiness about them.
Yeah,
like that
ugh.
serial killer
Vibe.
creepy vibe thing when you see them. You look at this guy, he's just like a regular
Looks
guy.
like a dad that came back from golfing.
He looks like a regular guy.
Yeah.
You know? That's what's weird about it. And man, really sad.
But how many of these stories where the family's normal or stereotypical or happen, but we never hear about it? Why did this one catch news?
Because I'm guessing because of how I'm thinking. It's just...
Yeah.
It's so like that's the house they lived in. Like
That's
that
a
is
nice
an
house.
right. That is an a upper middle class
Yeah.
house. That's what I think is shocking everybody. And not to mention he did this interview,
That's true. The interview's there.
right? That now you looking back on that is like he was bold-faced lying to these reporters, knowing he had killed his wife and 2 kids, and just saying how he wished they would come back. Like that is a whole new level of effed up friggin' crazy.
Yeah.
That's why I think this is gaining a lot of news. Again, not to mention they look so normal. So stereotypical American family normal. Very sad. Such a shame that this happened, and I really hope this guy gets locked up for life, which I'm sure he will, and or like maybe even the death penalty. I don't know if Colorado's a death penalty state. Probably not.
Probably not. They're pretty progressive.
But I really hope he gets locked up for life. And you know, this is what's interesting about prison.
Yeah, at least lock him up for life.
But this is what's
Take his life
this is
away.
what's interesting about prison culture is the moment those prisoners find out what he did, he's done.
Yeah.
He's done absolutely, because that almost becomes like a prize to those guys in there
Yeah.
to kill someone who did that.
Do you know who usually gets killed the most or beaten up the most?
Rapists.
Child rapists.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're the ones that get destroyed.
I do the same thing. Like this guy, he's gonna get. Oh god, he's gonna get killed in prison.
Child rapists usually get
They don't
killed.
need. They don't need to assign the death sentence to him. He's just gonna get killed by the inmates,
Yeah.
as he should, in
Which
my opinion.
you think he'll get killed?
Oh, for sure.
Probably.
Brett Dahmer got killed.
Did they kill him in prison?
Yeah, prisoners killed him.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I don't really know much about him.
Yeah.
Just what he did.
He was in the Max Supermax in Portage.
Oh, is that where he was?
You didn't know that?
Creepy.
Yeah, he was at the Supermax in Portage after he got
I've
convicted.
driven by there so many times.
After he got convicted, and the prisoner killed him. Because again, to the guys in there, prison culture is really interesting. To the guys in there, that's like a prize. They feel like they're doing something for the world by taking out these horrible people. Even though
Okay.
they did something bad, there's always someone who did something worse.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
anyhow.
What a lovely story.
Yep, not a good story. Anyhow, that wraps up this week's news stories for segment 1. So
That was depressing news.
yes, it was. But something I felt very strongly that we needed to talk about because I just, again, can't believe it. But we'll be right back for segment 2.
And we're back. Nick,
What?
what did you want to talk about?
Supposed to talk about social media.
I can't do it.
What are you doing?
I don't know how to work your Mac. How do you go from window to window?
You do that.
What'd you just do?
You swipe.
You just swipe?
You swipe. No, 4 fingers. Swipe.
Oh, you swipe with 4
Swipe.
fingers. 4 fingers. Swipe. Swipe. How does it know that there's 4 fingers on there?
I don't know because Steve Jobs was a genius.
He didn't make that.
Probably not. He yelled at other people too.
Yeah.
Anyhow, on to segment 2, our topic of the week, which this week happens to be social media. Honestly, because it's something that I know a lot about and couldn't think of anything else to talk about this week per se in terms of topics.
You didn't want to talk about the Velociraptor fossil that they found with skin still attached to the bones? It
What?
was mummified. They found it this past week.
That's not a topic. That's like a news story.
Yes, but then we talk about what they could do with the DNA. Are they going to make a Jurassic World? In real life, the world may never know.
Where did they find this Velociraptor bone with
I
skin
saw it on
attached?
Reddit. I didn't read the article.
The world's most reliable news source.
Yeah, it's
everybody.
probably very fake. I just thought I'd bring it up. It's kind of cool.
This is why I do all of the heavy lifting around here now. Don't give me that look, Brett.
I'll give you any look I pooping want.
That's right, pooping want.
Yeah, pooping want. All right, so we want to talk about social media with, huh?
Yes. So the reason I want to talk about social media, frankly, it's been in the news a lot lately in the wake of Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg's massive scandal. Not to mention, the fact that our lovely president communicates primarily through Twitter.
Yeah, it's
And
disgusting.
how people have become famous by running an Instagram channel. It's a new way.
Also disgusting.
What do you mean disgusting?
Have you seen some of those Instagram channels? They're garbage.
Yeah, but they have a lot of followers and the people make a lot of money doing it.
Then people like garbage.
Sure, I guess people like garbage then. Social media is something that really has the power to make anybody famous if you try hard enough, I guess.
Sure.
The question is if you try hard enough,
Some people obviously don't.
which
You just have to have a hot body.
actually, no, there's a yes, being attractive does play into it. However, there is a statistic out there that really communicates this. So, think of a pie chart, Brett, of like 100%.
Yes.
So 90% of people are spectators on social media.
Uh-huh.
So you stop it. You stop it right now.
What? What am I doing?
You're like, yeah.
Oh, you don't like that?
No.
Okay,
I
I'll
don't.
stop. Okay.
Oh my God. Think of a pie chart of 100%.
I just did.
90% of that pie chart is,
Spectators, 10% is people that are actually popular on social media.
actually, no.
No.
9% is people who like, comment, or share. And then 1% is people who actually create content.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. That's 1% of the world?
1% of everyone on social media.
Okay.
So you have
So like a
90% of people are spectators, so they just literally go on, scroll, and look through stuff. 9% of people are people who like, comment, share, that type of stuff, engage. And then 1% of people actually create the content.
Creative.
So that is why you see a lot of people on social media, but only very few people actually quote unquote famous and making money with it.
I bet you could split that 1% of people who create the content into its own 100% pie chart.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't really know what you would split that into, but
People that are trying to be famous and people that are famous, somewhere in there. Different categories.
well, the thing is,
within that 1%.
it requires a lot of work to do this. Like, there's this misconception that people think like, oh, if I start an Instagram channel on, taking food pictures, like I'm going to make money and be famous. No, that's not how it works. There's
Usually do that for fun.
right. Typically, people start channels for fun, and it turns into like something big.
Yeah.
Like the thing about like say Instagram, it's not just posting a photo, but it's the story you tell with the photo, it's the hashtags you use, it's how you engage and comment with your audience. It's all these different components that go into what it means to engage and be quote unquote famous on social media. And each platform is different. The way you do it for Facebook is different, but you don't really get famous on Facebook. The way you do it for Twitter is different. The way you do it for LinkedIn is different. Twitch, YouTube, Snapchat, they're all different in how you go about doing it. You just have to understand the platform. But I suppose we'll kind of to break it down here in terms of, so right now there's like 7 primary social media channels that people use, and I've got some numbers here that ranks them. So, of course, the number one platform in the world right now is Facebook with 2.23 billion active users.
Oh, I saw something really cool today. So, get this. Not a lot of people know or understand or can comprehend the difference between a million and a billion. So a lot of people, when they hear a billion, they're not thinking too much about it, right? And you think of a million and a billion the same, kind of. It's like, oh, whatever, million, billion.
No, I think of a billion a lot bigger than a million.
Well, yeah, it's bigger, but you're not thinking about how much bigger it is, right?
Sure.
So guess how long a million seconds is? How many days?
I don't know.
Just take a guess. How many days do you think a million seconds is?
7.
It's 11 days. A million seconds is 11 days. How many is 1 billion seconds?
Double that, 22 days.
31 years.
Really?
Yep.
Oh,
Isn't that crazy?
sure.
Yeah.
What does it have to do with all this?
This is nuts.
This is why I love bread, everybody.
So that's what that had to do with this is, so now when you think of 2.23 billion people, that's a lot.
Yes, that's a lot of people. Well, again, the planet has a population of roughly 7 billion. So we're looking at just over, what is that? 2.6 roughly of people who are on Facebook. Just under 2.6.
Roughly over 2/7 of the population.
Sure. We'll go with that, Brett. Anyhow, it's a lot of people. Shut up. Now, number 2 platform is YouTube with 1.8 billion active users. Number 3 is Instagram with 1 billion active users. Number 4 is LinkedIn with 500 million active users. I was actually surprised by that one because I think
one?
a lot of LinkedIn, I think a lot of people have LinkedIn accounts, but they don't actually are active on them or use them.
Yeah, no.
But I guess the same can be said for all these, but specifically LinkedIn kind of shocked me.
LinkedIn is basically people saying you need a LinkedIn account if you're going to apply for a job, and then everybody and their freaking mother gets an account.
Well, LinkedIn is probably my favorite platform now because of just the way it's set up and how you engage with people. But that's a conversation for a different day. Anyhow, the number 5 platform is Snapchat with 191 million, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care for Snapchat much anymore. I never really go on it to look at people's stuff or talk with people. I think it's stupid right now, actually.
Yeah.
And it's actually decreasing. Their users are decreasing, not unsurprisingly.
Yeah.
Number 6 is Twitch with 100 million active users. And last but not least, this one surprised me, number 7 is Twitter with 68 million.
Yeah, Twitter kind of sucks in my opinion.
So Twitter actually is probably one you hear about the most, but it has the lowest number of users on it, which is I find fascinating.
Why is that?
Well, because Twitter is a space that a lot of... Keep in mind how quick Twitter...
Twitter seems like it's more just for famous people.
Well,
putting their stuff out there.
Keep in mind how quick Twitter moves, though. Like, it's constantly like just a feed of people saying stuff, sharing things, news. Like, most news nowadays, actually, Twitter knows about before most of the media even does.
Really?
Because keep in mind, if something happens, there's a person there who's able to take a photo, tweet about it, upload it directly to Twitter before the media even gets there.
That's true. Yeah.
So the media actually gets a lot of their information initially about a story from Twitter.
That's interesting.
And yes, it's a way for celebrities and prominent people to communicate directly with a lot of people quickly. I like Twitter. I find value in it because you can communicate with people and engage with people one-on-one very easily. But that's just me. I think my favorite platforms right now that I use the most are probably Twitter and LinkedIn. Instagram comes in at a third for me. Facebook, I kind of go on. I mean, I go on Facebook every day, but it's not like I enjoy going on it. To be honest, I don't really enjoy going on it.
In my head, I think it'd be fun to start an Instagram channel.
You do have one.
No, I'm talking like actually create one to do a specific thing. Like, remember that you told me that guy that takes pictures of random crap he finds on the sidewalk?
Yeah, my friend Corey.
Yeah, that'd be fun to just create a random.
Yeah, on the ground in Madison. That's what he does. And he just started it for fun, and he actually got featured on the news for that.
That's insane.
News. Yeah. But yeah, Instagram is quickly becoming probably the number one here because Gen Z really, really likes Instagram, which I get. It's the most visual out of all of them. You can really communicate a story well through visuals and captions. And I'm going to be honest, the Instagram Stories feature blows Snapchat out of the water in terms of what you can do, the different captions, the different graphics you can do.
Yeah.
Which is funny, and I think I told you this before. Facebook went to Snapchat like 3-4 years ago and was like, Mark Zuckerberg was like, I want to buy you. And they're like, no, we're not going to sell to you. And he's like, all right. Then walks away, secretly mumbles under his breath, then we'll destroy you. And that's exactly what he's doing.
Well, look at it. 191 million people for Snapchat. 1 billion for Instagram.
Right.
They will destroy them.
Oh, yeah. And it's already... Now, I mean, also take into account that Snapchat CEO was kind of a D-bag.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Instagram is quickly becoming. I think very soon here will be the number 2, and YouTube will move into the number 3 spot. And I think that's.
I see Twitch doing a rise, like a spike, in the next couple of years here. I see Twitch making a spike, man.
Maybe live video is increasing, but there's still something about recorded video or like the type of content you would find on Instagram that I think is more or less appealing to people. I don't disagree with you. I think Twitch is quickly and will become really popular, but the thing is, how much can you do live, you know?
Yeah.
As opposed to like, you can put a lot more creative thought into something that's been recorded, like, you know, the YouTube content creators who, you know, all those people like became famous just for doing stupid videos.
Yeah.
And like, and that's what's weird about YouTube is like, unless you're like ingrained in YouTube, you don't really know who any of these people are. The only reason I know who some of these people are is because Brett like is addicted to YouTube. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I wouldn't know who any of these people are because I don't really actively go on YouTube for that.
Yeah.
But YouTube has honestly become.
You probably won't know who Brandon Rogers is.
Shut up.
What?
Oh, you're saying I wouldn't know who Brandon Rogers is?
You probably wouldn't know who.
Oh
he
yeah,
is.
no. If
The fuck do you think I said?
You don't know who Brandon Rogers is.
And your initial thing is to say, "Shut up."
Leave me alone.
You're mean to me.
Go away.
Go away.
But no, YouTube, I think will still hold a lot of weight just because it's video based and will always be that way. But I think what's interesting is YouTube has become like a main source of entertainment, almost like TV was for younger generations.
Yes, it is.
Like
Twitch and YouTube.
Gen Z really likes YouTube and follow. And honestly, the reason for all these YouTube stars is because of younger kids.
Oh yeah,
teenagers
sure.
and younger kids.
Otherwise, you wouldn't see people trying to make videos all the time.
What's interesting and you know, there's research coming out about this is Gen Z can identify YouTube quote unquote celebrities more than they could like people in Hollywood.
Oh yeah,
and artists.
That's
you
for
know,
sure,
musical
yeah.
artists and
Yep.
stuff,
Yep.
which is fascinating.
Yeah.
But the sad thing is, and Brett kind of filled me in on this, is the money that people were once able to make off of YouTube is no more.
No, it kind of sucks. See him migrating to Twitch.
I mean, people are still making money, but nowhere near as much as they were making when the platform first got going. I mean, YouTube literally created millionaires.
Not when they first started going. They started,
After Google bought them.
yeah, 2011, 2012, somewhere in there.
Yeah, after
2010,
Google
2011.
after Google bought them and they started monetizing it, like it made millionaires. Like PewDiePie, guy's worth like millions.
Yeah, he's 224 million right now.
That much
Or was it
money?
24 million?
It was like 24 million.
No, I think I read somewhere in like the hundreds of millions. Keep talking.
Well, no, I'm just saying PewDiePie is one of them, and they're social media YouTube literally created millionaires overnight from people being able to upload and produce video content. Like, you know, like some of the people who were there.
Yeah, it's 20 million.
Yeah, like people who were there in the beginning, like Jenna Marbles and, you know, some of those guys. Even the guy who made the shoes video and stuff. Like
Shit.
some of those people.
2009.
But then like the people who
It's 9
started
years ago.
the people who started playing video games got really popular, and yeah, it just blew up. Anyhow, that's just kind of some facts on the current active users for all these different channels, and I'm sure if you're listening to this, you are more than likely on one of these platforms or multiple platforms. I know myself, I'm on like actually all of these. I have an account for all these.
Yeah. I think I do too, actually.
So
Yeah.
it just really shows how it has grown and ingrained itself in everybody's day-to-day lives. But a bit about of history for social media, and this was actually interesting to learn about. So the first recognizable social media site in air quotes was called 6 Degrees. Never heard of it until I started researching this.
Yeah, I never heard of it either.
And it was created in 1997. It enabled users to upload a profile and make friends with other users. And in 1999, the first blogging sites became popular, creating social media sensation that's still popular today, which I did know after the RSS feed thing, which I think
Yeah.
back in the, you know, you being in Red Fox days,
Uh-huh.
you did a whole thing on blogs and RSS feed and how that really paved the way for blogging and
Yep.
which got people really popular. And yeah, also, you know what else what I would say contributed to this that they did not list in terms of social media? AIM,
Oh, yeah.
AOL Instant Messenger.
Yeah.
Like, I remember being a little kid and going into those chat rooms. I shouldn't have been, but I was. My mom busted me one day on the old on the
You're
computer.
probably talking to some perverts.
Oh yeah, probably for sure, absolutely. But yeah, do you remember the AOL chat rooms? You just go in and start randomly talking to people.
My mom wouldn't.
You never did that?
My mom would never
Oh.
download that on the computer.
She never did.
No, because she knew that there was weirdos out there.
Oh, there was. Like
So
that,
she never even-
My mom. Well, my mom didn't.
Why'd your mom not care?
She did. She didn't want me doing it. I just did it anyhow.
Oh, you download it yourself?
Correct. She wasn't home when.
Oh, I just knew
She
my
was-
mom would rip me a new
She was
one.
at work. My dad was in the living room, so I went on the computer and I like opened up AOL and went on Instant Messenger, and she caught me talking with somebody, and she's like, "What are you doing? You're not supposed to be doing
Why
that."
would you want to talk to people?
Because it was
never would.
it was
have the-
weird. I don't know. Like just randomly go into a chat room and start talking with somebody. It was weird.
I remember, this is when my mom would go to work, and it was a summer vacation, and my mom never let me watch South Park. Never, ever, ever let me watch South Park. So
Shame.
I would go on to southpark.com, and they had every episode on that.
I do remember that.
Yep.
They did.
And I would watch every episode online on her computer.
I used to
Just
do that
sit there
too.
with my bowl of cereal, my bowl of Captain Crunch, and just eat in the morning. I was like so content, just like
With the really slow internet at the time.
it wouldn't.
I don't even
it
buffer
wouldn't
videos.
It wouldn't buffer anything. It worked fine.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
I do remember SouthPark.com and doing the same thing.
Yep.
And then I discovered iTunes, and the rest is history. Anyhow, so that's a bit of history about social media. And then after the invention of blogging, social media began to explode in popularity. Sites like MySpace, which I never had an account for, proud to say.
You really?
No, never
Oh
had a
my
MySpace.
god, MySpace. I started my first MySpace back in like 2007. It was in middle school. And I had my MySpace page up and everything. I had my old profile. I had my favorite songs, my favorite top 10 list of my songs. Did you know on MySpace, when you went to somebody's like profile account, it played their favorite music?
Yes.
Yeah, and it played their favorite music. And I had Nico Vega, Fire or something, some stupid ass band I was into in middle school. And I would go on and I'd visit everybody's channels and I'd comment on their profiles and stuff. And then one day, fateful day in 2009, my cousins messaged me or texted me, or they were talking to me at like some Christmas party or whatever. And like, Brett, we just started a Facebook account. I'm like, what's Facebook? And like, it's this new thing that just came out. I'm like, well, what do you do on it? They're like, it's just like MySpace. And I'm like, really? And like, but there's no music on it. I'm like, well, then why would I want to create one? That's so stupid. I can't
honestly-
play music
honestly,
on it.
That's what everybody says is the one thing about MySpace that they missed the most was the fact that you could put music on your page.
I'm like, that's never gonna take off. You can't play music, like, but you can play some like video games and stuff, like Farmville and stuff, and like.
Oh
okay.
God, Farmville! Don't
And
even
then
get me started on that.
remember all the quizzes and stuff that
Yeah.
people would send you, and you would actually take them and enjoy them, and like that's all it was quizzes and
On
like
Facebook?
Video, it was Farmville and quizzes on Facebook.
Yes.
And then people actually interacting and commenting on stuff.
That's what it was meant for.
That's what it was.
And
And,
then
now it's just a bunch of stupid ass ads and
because
dumb videos.
Because Facebook realized, wow, we can make money on this, and marketers ruin everything. And then it turned into just a bunch of advertisements.
I remember when there was no videos on Facebook. There was
Yeah.
no videos. It was just people
It was
talking with
people
each other.
talking, commenting on stuff, which is funny because Zuckerberg built it in 2006. I don't think he really opened it up for like everyone until 07 or 08, because I didn't even have an account until 2009. But I remember in junior high they were talking about it, like when they give the talks about being safe online and stuff. And then I don't think I got an actual Facebook account until my freshman year of high school,
Okay.
which was 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do remember the early days of Facebook when it was Farmville. I actually had some family addicted to Farmville.
I was addicted to
You were addicted to Farmville?
I was the person that had all the friends with me on Farmville, and I would like visit everybody's farm and stuff.
Of course you would. Of course you would. Knowing you as I do now, that was definitely a game for you. Do they
Yep.
still even have Farmville?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. They do. I looked it up the other day.
I tell you what, the biggest pain in the ass was getting the stupid Farmville requests from people like, hey, if
That
I
guy-
did my farm, the money. And I'm like, block, 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 block,
Yep,
block,
that
block.
got annoying.
Yeah, that was bad. But you got to appreciate that's where Facebook was at the time. And it was actually, again, the whole purpose of going on there was to look at people's photos, comment on stuff.
I remember doing homework, and like I would like take a break from my homework and look at everybody's notifications for their farm.
Yeah.
And I would help them out and stuff.
Now it's a dumping ground of ads and memes
Yep.
that get recycled to the internet.
Yep. Sloppy
Um,
fifths.
Anyhow, but MySpace, yes, that's one big thing that everyone talks about with MySpace is you can have your own music. But the one thing that pissed people off about MySpace is everyone could like rank the friends they had from like 1 to 5.
Oh yeah, yes.
That would piss people off.
I remember that. I would go over to like one of my friends from high school's profile, and I was like 4. I'm like, I gotta suck up to him this week so I can get higher in his ranking system.
Yeah, see, that was the big drawback that no one liked was you could list like who your favorite friends were and stuff.
Which actually, I kind of like that. It provides competition.
Would I be number 1?
Probably.
Oh,
I get food.
Oh, got it.
What are you expecting, Nick? You always fish for compliments, but you're gonna get some bullshit out of the fish for the pool.
Anyhow, sites like MySpace and then actually LinkedIn started in the early 2000s too. It was just crap back then. PhotoBucket and Flickr, which I do remember learning about,
I remember Flickr.
which was online photo sharing. And then YouTube came out in 2005, creating an entirely new way for people to communicate and share with each other across distances. So YouTube,
remember Flickr?
I will remember when I first learned about YouTube. I was in junior high, actually. I actually learned about YouTube way before Facebook.
Oh well, yeah, it was. Yeah, YouTube was. I remember on the news channel, they're like, this new thing came out called YouTube, and I thought it was spelled UTUBE.
Well, the reason I found out about it is because I was in a tech class in junior high, and the partner I was with, like, we had downtime, and he's like, I'm going to show you my super secret website that I used to watch Naruto.
Super secret.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here, dude.
And I'm like, all right. Well, the thing is, nobody really knew. Like, at least where I was in
Yeah.
junior high, nobody really knew about it. And he would, like, pull up episodes of Naruto on YouTube, and I'm like, this is weird. And it was like when they used to have, like, the bubbly, like, it was actually, like, the black letters and then the tube, like, circle logo.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And then I remember, like, people started coming by and watching what we were doing. They're like, YouTube. And then I remember one day, like, everybody was on it just watching, like, random frickin' videos.
Yep, that's how it started in high school for me.
It was just people watching random stupid videos.
Yep.
And that's kind of how I remember it.
It was actually in middle school. One of the kids actually created his own video of, like,
There is
memes.
actually a night I remember.
They weren't called memes yet, though.
There was a night I remember when I was at my grandparents, and Steve and my aunt and uncle were there, and it was my mom. My mom was on her, like, old-ass HP laptop at the time because, well, it was old at the time, back then. But I remember, like, they, old people had discovered YouTube, and they sat there, I kid you not, for, like, 4 hours after we got back from dinner one night watching videos.
Really?
Just watching videos of, like, stupid crap.
Yeah.
Of, like, these people dancing to this Walk It Out song and this drunk cowboy guy, like, talking back. They were just watching these random videos, and it was like...
That's because YouTube was awesome back then.
Because it was just random stuff.
Because it was people posting videos of, like, they were passionate about it, and they weren't in it for money. And you could tell in the videos that they cared about what their video was.
Because it wasn't, you couldn't make money. It was just posting videos for the sake of posting videos.
It was just because they wanted to post something.
Like the shoes guy.
Yeah, you can tell it's passionate, and he put a lot of time in it because he was passionate about it. It wasn't in it for money.
That guy probably never even made money. But I'm even talking about people would just record stuff, like just things happening in day-to-day life and put it on there too.
Yeah.
Like, it was really interesting to actually remember watching that grow and come into, and the guys who made it, Google paid them a lot of money for that.
Oh yeah, they're well off.
Google paid them a lot of money for good reason because Google has made a lot of money off of it.
Oh yeah.
So continuing on, by 2006, Facebook and Twitter both became available to users throughout the world, and these sites remain some of the most popular social networks today on the internet, and other sites like Tumblr, Spotify, Foursquare, and Pinterest began popping up to fill specific social networking niches. So, yeah, I remember when Twitter first came out, I never really used it. And to be honest, I didn't really become active on Twitter until, like, last year. Like, I had an account, like, since 2012.
Yeah, I remember you started really going on Twitter.
I never really, got into it until, like, last year, surprisingly, and, like, I really like it. But, yeah, Twitter's been around for a while, and it's just been interesting to see this stuff grow and how we've, now, because it's been such an unregulated space for so long, everyone's like, oh, this can actually do a lot of damage because it holds so much information and data about people. Mm-hmm. And, this is where people consume news. This is where people consume information. And I wish we could just, like, snap our fingers and go back to the heyday of all this because, like, we'll never get that again.
We're going to be the old people in the future saying, like, what was it like when all this started? I'll tell you what it was all like back
Well,
in the day.
I'll have you know, I was actually at this thing I went to this past week. I was talking with a group of they were women in their mid 40s, early 40s, and we were talking about generational crap again because that's what old people like to do. You're a millennial. What are your thoughts on this? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, we were talking about something. I'm like, like, I fully accept that I'm part of the last bit of generation here that will remember the internet when it was dial-up.
Yeah.
And it will remember, like, the heyday of Napster and all these things and, the early social media. And because kids these days, that's all they knew.
That's all I know.
We actually, like, remember internet being bad and computers being bad. And
Like, I remember a day when my mom didn't even have a computer or anything.
Me too. Yep.
Nothing.
Actually, no. I think most of my life growing up, we had a computer. Like, my mom had a work laptop, I remember when I was really little.
Yeah.
And then we moved in with my aunt and uncle, and of course they had a computer. And then, yeah, I've kind of always had a computer. They, like... It's amazing to look at, like, the computers that we built over the past year, and then you look at the ones we were working with, like, back in the early 2000s. How freaking bad they were.
Yeah, they're
And the
crap.
big monitors, like the tube monitors, like that were heavy as shit.
Crap. And the computers that you could see through and everybody wanted one. It was like, remember the Apple computers?
Oh, you're talking about the iMac.
The see-throughs.
The original
yeah.
iMacs,
The
yeah.
see-throughs. What was I going to say? Crap. I forgot. Oh, my mom's first cell phone where she flipped it open and had the antenna that pulled out like that. It had the green screen.
My mom had one of those too.
It had the green screen on it. When you typed, it was like... doot, 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 doot.
Probably gave it both radiation poisoning.
Probably.
Anyhow,
Probably why I mentioned
that has nothing to do with
Bill.
social media. But, yeah, it's interesting.
It doesn't.
It's interesting to take a look back at social media where it was back in 2005, 2006, and in just over 10 years, where it's at right now.
It really makes you wonder if in 20 years we're going to be saying, I wish we could go back to 2018.
Oh, I'm sure. We're going to be
Probably.
those old people like, back in my day.
Back in my day, you were able to search for a website. You didn't have to
Brett,
pay and put a code in.
Brett, I'm feeling it now. When I go like do stuff with my younger cousins who aren't even that like far off from me in age, like my oldest cousin is like 6 years apart.
Yeah.
But like even just seeing what they do, it's just weird.
Yeah.
I feel weird about stuff now.
Yeah.
Like what the hell are you kids doing?
I'm trying to think of some stuff too, but I can't.
Well, all your cousins are around your age, so you don't have to.
Not really.
Yeah, they are.
What are you talking? Like how much of a difference?
My closest cousin to me in age is 6 years, so 6 years apart.
Oh, that's the closest one.
Correct.
So what's the youngest then? Like talking like 15 years of age difference?
My youngest cousin, if I look at my immediate family, she's 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have cousins spanning from 2 years of age to 20 years older than
I'm
me.
talking about a majority of the cousins you spend time with are around your age.
Correct.
Where mine are of Gen Z and
There you go.
younger.
Okay.
So it's interesting, like me being a millennial and looking back at, and I told these people on Wednesday, I'm like, well, I'm on the younger spectrum of millennial, like because there's millennials up in their mid 30s now.
Isn't it if you're below 21, you're Gen Z? Because I remember Sienna posting something on Facebook saying she's Gen Z.
Well, like I'm right on the cusp of Gen Z millennial.
Oh yeah, below 24 it was. You're Gen Z if
Yeah.
you're below 24 right now at this very moment. It was like a month ago.
I don't know where they get these numbers, but from what
Yeah.
I read, like I'm just make the cut for millennial.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did not realize I was that close.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
That's our topic of social media.
So did you see that they're already making below Gen Z now?
oh,
Kids
yeah.
coming in?
Yes,
They're going to the Greek alphabet.
they are.
Yeah, it's Gen AA or something.
Are you
What's
serious?
what's the Greek alphabet? AA, right? After Z?
I honestly don't know.
Okay. Well, they're going to the Greek alphabet now.
Either way, these younger kids are weird and I don't know what they're up to. They spend a lot of time on Instagram and Snapchat and watch people play video games, and I don't get it. Go read
It's fun.
Go read a book or watch TV.
Well, usually that's what people do. They read books and study while they have that in the background. There's something with our generation that always needs something in the background to have us focus.
I don't. I can
I
work
think
perfectly fine in silence. Actually, the
go
place
crazy.
the place I'm most productive is a coffee shop, to be honest.
Actually, that's pretty productive for me because there's an ambiance to it in the background.
No, I think that's you who needs to have something on in the background to do anything.
Sure.
Although I will admit, growing up, I did always have like TV on, whether I was
Yeah, it's like we were.
playing playing with Legos or building whatever. Anyhow, we're just rambling now in terms of the podcast, and we're out of time at this point. So that
went long.
That about wraps up.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you thought social media was going to be stupid to talk about.
No, I didn't think it was gonna be stupid to talk about. I think it was just stupid. Like, oh, here goes Nick with his social media again.
Whatever. I made a career out of it.
You did. Do you actually want to do an outro this week?
An outro? What do you mean?
Remember last week?
Oh, because last night you literally
Bye.
shut me down. No, we don't really do an outro anyhow. But
Yeah.
Brett and I will be back next week with more top news stories, and I have no idea what the topic of the week will be. Maybe Brett will have some ideas for a change.
Actually, yeah. I could actually do that.
Uh-huh.
Don't worry. You'll be surprised.
But we will be back on Instagram next week with a photo as well, right, Brett?
Correct.
And our stuff.
Yep, I'll meant to prepare myself
The
for it.
next you have to mentally prepare yourself to wear your stupid shirt and pants.
Sure.
Jesus.
Well, I'll feel better. Let's go with that. I'll feel better.
And then first weekend in September, like we mentioned in the beginning, is our next Drunkcast. So right now we're just on SoundCloud.
We'll have the base for our website built too, because we're gonna do it in the week.
Right now we're just on SoundCloud, so make sure to like and follow to keep up with new episodes as we post them. And hard to believe that Brett and I have almost been doing this a year. We're gonna have to do something like really cool for the year anniversary,
It should be like the true year.
which was in November.
We have to go back to the first. Our first.
It was in November.
Stop saying that, because our first podcast on SoundCloud is January 9th, somewhere right there.
Right.
So,
but we started doing this in November
but
of last
nobody knows
year.
that.
No, nobody knows that. We let me talk. You
Okay.
keep interrupting.
Okay, sorry.
We started
Sorry.
doing this in November of last year, and we decided not to publish a lot of the episodes from November through December, frankly, because we were figuring it out at the time, and they were a bit R-rated.
Rambunctious.
A bit rambunctious and R-rated for all to hear. So officially, our first episode was January, but we have been doing this since November of last year.
Well, do you remember what day?
I think it's the old original episodes are still saved on my iPhone, so
Like November 10th or something?
it's around that time.
Yeah.
But even so, we should commemorate the 1 year with something
We should.
exciting.
Yeah. Like publishing the Forbidden Podcast.
Never will that get out.
I'll edit it.
Never. You cannot
Nick,
edit.
it's been
you,
2 days. I
you-
can't edit it.
You couldn't edit that enough to make it okay to publish. Oh God, was that a train wreck? Anyhow, we'll see you next week. And,
See you guys next week.
bye.
Bye.